الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة وجاهد في الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين. يقول الله تبارك وتعالى بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. موضوع الخطبة اليوم إخواني الموضوع متعلق بالرقية، بالعلاج بالقرآن، ومتعلق بالشرك. وهذا الموضوع له أهمية عظمى لأنه متعلق بالعقيدة. كثير من الناس مرضى ويشتكون من أعراض مختلفة متعلقة بالسحر وبالجن، وكثير منهم يمشون إلى أماكن مختلفة وإلى أينما وجدوا أو سمعوا بالشفاء وبالعلاج، وكثير منهم يقعون في الشرك. والمصيبة الكبرى إخواني أن هذا الشرك كثيرا ما يكون مصورا بالدين، ما يكون ملبوسا بالدين، أي أن الذين يعملون الشرك ويعطونه للناس يتمظهرون بمظهر الدين وبمظهر العلم. فكيف يعرف المسلم العامي كيف يعرف الحق من الباطل؟ وماذا يمنعه أن يقع في الشرك؟ والذين يدفعون له الشرك هم من أهل الدين ومن أهل العلم. فهذا موضوع خطير سنتكلم فيه إن شاء الله. فأول كلام إخواني أن الإصابة بالجن وبالسحر حق، شيء موجود. يكفينا قوله تبارك وتعالى: وكذلك ما أتى الذين من قبلهم من رسول إلا قالوا ساحر أو مجنون، بحيث أن كل الأنبياء اتهموا بالسحر وأنهم مجانين يسكنهم الجن. فهذا يدل أن البشر منذ بدايته يعرف مشاكل السحر والجن، شيء معروف ومذكور مرارا في القرآن. وكيف يعرف الإنسان هذه الإصابات من مشاكل الدنيا العادية؟ لأن الدنيا فيها مشاكل وأمراض وأحوال. فكيف تعرف أن هذا شيء غيبي أو أن هذا شيء طبيعي عادي؟ ففيه 4 أعراض ذكرها الله تعالى في القرآن تدل أن الإنسان به مشكل غير طبيعي غيبي. فأول أعراض يقع من السحر والجن، الله يحفظنا ويعافينا ويشفي مرضانا، هو التعطيلات في الحياة. يعني الحياة معطلة موقوفة، الإنسان لا يجد الشغل، أو ماله يفنى، أو لا يجد الزواج، أو لا يجد الأبناء، وغير ذلك من التعطيلات. وهذا قوله تعالى: ومن شر النفاثات في العقد. يعني ربطوا حياتك بصفة يعني غيبية بالسحر حتى لا تتقدم في حياتك. والعلامة الثانية هي المشاكل الصحية الغير طبيعية، أمراض وأوجاع لا يفهمها الأطباء ولا ينفع معها الدواء، كقوله تعالى: كالذي يتخبطه الشيطان من المس. الإصابة بالجنون والصرع من أثر الجن والشيطان. والعلامة الثالثة، الأثر الثالث للسحر والجن، هي الحالات النفسية الغير طبيعية، كثرة الغضب والخوف والحزن والنسيان واختلاط العقل وسماع الهواتف إلى الجنون حفظنا الله. وهذا في قوله تعالى: فيتعلمون منهما ما يفرقون به بين المرء وزوجه. تتغير المحبة إلى كراهية وإلى غضب وإلى مشاكل. والعلامة الرابعة هي المنامات المزعجة، وهذا قوله تعالى: ويذهب عنكم رجس الشيطان، إشارة لما وقع ليلة معركة بدر من أن الصحابة عدد منهم أصبح على جنابة من تأثير الشيطان حتى يكونوا على غير طهارة في مقابلة العدو. فهذه العلامات، والإنسان إخوان يتعالج بالقرآن ولا بد أن يترك الشرك، ولكن سنفصل إن شاء الله بالإنجليزية. أما الشرك أنواع، وسأتكلم في نوع واحد وهو التمائم. وهو إخواني التمائم ما يعلق التمائم بالعربية، ويقال في تونس أو المغرب الكتاب والحرز، ويقال في لغة نيجيريا جوجو، وفي لغة الكومور حريز، ويقال في اللغة الهندية تعويذ. أما التعويذ، لفظ التعويذ يدل على الاستعاذة بالله تبارك وتعالى، ولكن كلمة التعويذ تدل على التمائم التي يعلقها الإنسان طلبا للحفاظة وطلبا للشفاء. وهذا حرمه النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في عدد كبير من الأحاديث. ولكن الشيء البشع إخواني، لما نفتح هذه التمائم من المرضى وننظر ما فيها، نجد أسماء الجن وأسماء الشياطين والأشياء التي لا ترضي الله تبارك وتعالى، وهذا أجمع العلماء على تحريمه. والله أقول لكم فقط هذه مرة يعني عالجنا عالما وكان له تعويذ، كان له تميمة أعطاها له عالم آخر، ولما فتحناها والله كان كتب فيها 5 أسماء: فرعون وقارون وأبو جهل وشداد وإبليس. وهذا الشيء الذي كان يعلقه على نفسه. فيا إخواني شيء رهيب، والله شيء رهيب، شيء شيطاني دخل موجود في المسلمين ومشابه ملبس بالعلم وبالدين. والله قد يعني عالم لا أذكر يعني مكانه، ولكن شكت لي إحدى المرضى أن هذا العالم أعطاها تعويذا، فلما ارتدته صارت في صلاتها لها أفكار شيطانية وأفكار جنسية. فلما شكت إليه أن هذا التعويذ زاد في مرضها وصار هذا المشكل، فأمرها أن تقرأ القرآن بالمقلوب. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. انظروا كيف يجتهد الشيطان حتى يضل الإنسان وهو عالم، وحتى يقع يعني في أعمال الشيطان ويقع في الكفر ويدل غيره على الكفر. Today, inshallah, we are speaking about ruqyah. And this topic has great importance because it is related to aqidah, it is related to Iman. That means many people suffer of ghaibi problems, of sihr and jinn problems, and they go to various places to to any person because they're desperate and they take different kinds of healings and they fall into shirk. They go to some places and they are given shirk to be treated with. And the biggest problem is that this shirk is mixed with deen. It is given by people who have an appearance of deen and of knowledge of deen. And this is, so how can a normal Muslim know that this is wrong when the person who is giving him that, he is the person who is supposed to teach him deen and to show him deen, and they are teaching deen, and they are showing deen, and they are practicing shirk at the same time. So how can normal people understand that? So there's many kinds of shirk, but we are going to speak only about one, about ta'weez. About ta'weez, meaning the things you attach on yourself, on your car, on your house, that you hang for protection or for healing. So this is the topic. So first of all, the problems of jinn and sihr are a reality, because Allah Ta'ala mentions it many times in Quran. And for instance, Allah Ta'ala says, وَكَذَلِكَ مَا أَتَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ بِرَسُولٍ إِلَّا قَالُوا سَاحِرٌ أَوْ مَجْنُونَ. That is how any messenger that came before, he was treated to be a sorcerer or possessed by jinns. And this shows that in all human communities, the phenomenon of jinn of sihr was always known. And it is mentioned many times in Quran. So how can one know that he is concerned by sihr or jinn problem? There is 4 symptoms that Allah Ta'ala says in Quran, 4 effects of jinn and sihr and ayn. And these 4 effects, that lets you make the difference between what is normal, usual problem and what is ghaibi problems, mystic problems related to something else that is jinn and sihr and ayn. So the first problem, the first symptom is blockages in life. You cannot get a job, your money gets wasted, you can't get married, you can't have children, you can't study, you can't pass your examination, whatever programs you are doing, they all get stuck, they get blocked. Repeated and unusual blockages until you understand yourself that this is not something normal. There is something blocking my life. So this is what Allah Ta'ala said, النفاثات في العقد, those who blow on the knots. That means they made sihr, they attach these knots to attach your life. So that will attach someone's life so he will not work, or that will attach a woman's womb so she will not have children, or that will attach a child's brain so he will not understand at school. So that is the first symptom. The second is unusual health problems. So you have pains, you have diseases that doctors don't understand, and you're taking medicine, it's not going, and it's stayed there for years. And in this Allah Ta'ala says, كَالَّذِي يَتَخَبَّطُهُ الشَّيْطَانُ مِنَ الْمَسِّ, like the one who is shaken by shaitan, being possessed by shaitan, epilepsy crisis due to jinn and possession. And many health problems caused by sihr and jinn. For example, if someone has eating sihr, it will give him pain in his stomach. If you walk on sihr, it will give you skin problems, skin diseases and psoriasis, etc. And the third problem, the third symptom of sihr and jinns is unusual mental states. Too much anger or sadness, depression or fears, phobias or forgetting, not being able to concentrate, or hearing things, seeing things, going up to madness. And that is what Allah Ta'ala says, فَيَتَعَلَّمُونَ مِنْهُمَا مَا يُفَرِّقُونَ بِهِ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَزَوْجِهِ. They learn from them how to separate a man from his wife. The love will turn into hatred, there will be too much anger, too much bad words, etc. until getting to separation. And the fourth symptom is bad dreams. So when sihr is done, you will be seeing in your dreams snakes, dogs, people chasing you, birds, dead people, water, climbing, falling, sexual dreams, etc. And Allah Ta'ala says about this, وَيُذْهِبْ عَنْكُمْ رِجْزَ الشَّيْطَانِ, talking about the battle of Badr and the night of Badr. Many Sahaba had janaba, had wet dreams, and Allah Ta'ala says that is shaitan who made those dreams so that they will be in janaba, not have tahara for the battle, and Allah Ta'ala sent rain so they can purify themselves, so they can take ghusl and be pure for the fight. So sexual dreams and different nightmares made by jinns, shayateen, and sorcery. So that is how anyone can know that he has a problem of jinn and sihr. So if you see that, you must treat yourself with Quran. I'm going to give you a simple way, but very effective and very important to do. How to treat oneself with Quran. So you will take some water and read on it Fatiha, Ayat al-Kursi, Qul huwa Allahu ahad, al-Falaq, and Nas. Plus 3 special verses to remove the sihr. It is the verses of Musa alayhi salam with the sources of Fir'aun, where Allah Ta'ala says that Allah destroys the sihr by His words. It is in Surah Al-A'raf, وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَى مُوسَى أَنْ أَلْقِ عَصَاكَ فَإِذَا هِيَ تَلْقَفُ مَا يَفِكُونَ, etc. from 117 to 122. It will be written and given to everybody. Surah Al-A'raf 117 to 122. Then in Surah Yunus, فَلَمَّا أَلْقَوْا قَالَ مُوسَى مَا جِئْتُمْ بِهِ السِّحْرُ 81 and 82. And then Surah Taha, قُلْ لَا تَخَافْ إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْأَعْلَى from 68 to 70. These are the specific verses to destroy the sorcery, plus Fatiha, Ayat al-Kursi, Qul huwa Allahu ahad, Falaq, and Nas. You read that 11 times on water, and then you drink from that water. You're going to bathe for 3 days, or 5, or 7, 9, 11 days, according to your problem, or you can do more. And you're going to spray your house with that water. If you have a shop or a business, something that's not working, blocked by sihr, or even a car, you will spray it with that water, that will go. So this is a basic and simple way, and you can read more than that. The more you read, the more the power of Quran will add into that water, and will help you remove anything evil you have. So this is the basic way to treat oneself with Quran. And may Allah Ta'ala accept us and guide us and cure us and remove the shirk from the life of Muslims. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa la fahma lana illa ma fahamtana innaka antal jawadul kareem. Now we're talking about ta'weez. These things that people attach on them or put in their houses or cars for protection or for healing. So you must know that Rasulullah in about 30 hadiths has condemned that and said it is shirk. Now, when we open those things, we find so much shirk and kufr inside. You get verses of Quran, and you sometimes get dua, and then you always get other things. I'm going to tell you a bit of what is inside. We don't actually need to know what is inside, because Rasulullah has forbidden it. But I'm going to explain to you some of what is inside. Sometimes you get these words, Ilahi bihurmati yamliha maksalima kashfotat fatyanus laqyanus, etc. wa kalbihim qatmi. Oh my God, I ask you by the value of yamliha, maksalima, kashfotat, this and that, and their dog qatmir. And they say this is the names of cave people, of the 7 that were sleeping for 300 years in the cave. So there's absolutely no evidence to say the names of those people. And even if it is the names of those people, what need do you have to say, Ya Allah, I ask you by the value of Yabliha, Maksalima, this and that? We don't even say, Ya Allah, I ask you by the value of Nuh and Ibrahim and Musa and Isa and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why should we ask through the name of those people? وَكَلْبِهِمْ قَتْمِيرٌ, and their dog Qitmir. How can you say, Ya Allah, I ask your help by the value of this dog that has passed away more than 2,000 years ago? How can you ask Allah by the value of a dog? This does not make sense. You see? And I tell you, it is all names of shayateen. No, those people, no dog in it. You get in, there's one ta'weez, very widespread, where it is written hafid in separate letters, and hafid backwards, and hafid in mixture, and hafid means protector, and beneath that, there is a shi'r, poetry, there is a piece of poetry that says, mashallah, there's a piece of poetry that says لي خمسة أطفي بها حر الوباء الفاطمة المرتضى والمصطفى وابنهما والفاطمة. I have 5 things to protect me from hardship. Mustafa, Murtada, their 2 sons, and Fatima. It is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ali, Hassan, Hussein, and Fatima. That means that this Hafid they are talking about is not Allah. They are talking about those 5 people as protectors. And don't think this is a Shia thing. You get this in Sunni places and shops everywhere. I will talk about the numbers. You have a lot of ta'weez with numbers, squares with numbers inside. What do those numbers stand for? So the people who make ta'weez, they say it is the names of Allah and the verses of Quran, they turn into numbers. So how can it be turned into numbers? Because in Arab days, they did not have numbers, they used letters as numbers. Alif, ba, ta, alif, ba, ja, da, ha, etc. Alif is 1, ba is 2, jim is 3, da is 4, ha is 5, etc. Then you get 10, 20, 30, 100, 200, etc. So if you take Allah, alif is 1, lam is 30, lam is 30, and ha is 5. So that gives you a total of 66. So now, if you write 66, if you write a full page of 66, will that protect you from anything? Will that give you anything? What effect will that have? If you say that Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim gives 786, I didn't check it out, but just let's suppose it is 786. What can you do with that? Can you eat, say, 786 and eat? Or before you go to the toilet you say 786? Will that have any effect? Will that stop shaitan eating with you? That has absolutely no effect. That has absolutely no effect. And by making ruqyah, one day, when Jinn spoke with the patient, I said, who are you? He said, I am 66. Because if total of Allah gives 66, how many words will give you the same total? 1 plus 30 plus 30 plus 5 is 66, 2 plus 20 plus 40 plus 4 is 66. And so many different words will give you 66. So how can you know what you are writing? And sometimes you get a square with numbers from 1 to 9. So that absolutely has nothing to do with words. It is just numbers from 1 to 9. And sometimes they say that they make these numbers because they're in order to avoid taking Quran in the toilets. And that is wrong. Because the same paper has Quranic verses, and after the verses you get the squares with numbers. So it will all go to the toilet anyway. And none of those people could ever explain what does that square stand for. And I tell you, inshallah, what does that square stand for? Because we are used to treating people, to converting those jinns, inshallah. But the Prophet ﷺ once made a square. And he said, this is man. And this is his ajal, his line of death, surrounding him. That means whatever you go, wherever you go, whatever you do in your life, death is waiting for you. Whatever you do, you're going to get to death. And then he put a line from the center of the square going past the square. And he said, this is the hope of man. So this is your projections. You want to do this and you have plans and etc. And those plans go far beyond your death. So everybody says, I want to make Hajj next year, I want to marry my children, I want to do this. And you don't say, well, maybe I'll die before. And you're having plans and plans. And then he put small lines saying, this is the problems in life. If he will avoid that problem, he'll get into that problem. If he avoids that one, he'll get into that one until the death will come. And that is how that square with numbers function. Those vertical lines are the life of man. His life, his wealth, his marriage, his health. And the lines across are the orders to the jinns to disturb his life, to disturb his health, to disturb his marriage, to disturb etc. And the numbers are the codes of jinns that are called to do that work. I'm telling my brothers, that the square with numbers is the sihr itself. That is the program calling jinns and asking them to disturb the life of those people. I am so full up with these things because we are treating people and we are seeing this and we are trying to discuss with the ulama, with the maulanas that do those ta'weezes. One of them really did not want to discuss this and was against us, and Allah Ta'ala made that I had a patient that came after she has seen him. She told me that he gave her a ta'weez. Since she put that ta'weez, she started having sexual obsessions in her prayers. And she complained to him that this is what your ta'weez has done to me. And he asked her to read Quran backwards. To read Quran backwards. I said backwards, he said yes, backwards. So, for example, instead of saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, you say Ar-Rahim ar-Rahman Allah Bismillah. Saying things backwards. Subhanallah. Yani, how can someone have knowledge of deen and fall into satanic acts? It's clearly satanic acts. You see? So, this is my message, Allahumma al-Balagh. So really, we ask everybody, if you have done ta'weez, if you have ta'weez, remove it all. If you have it in your house, you must not leave it. If there is numbers or something that you don't understand inside, or some names, sometimes you get bored with names of Allah Ta'ala, but inside you have other names. Inside you have other names. Or if there is numbers or something you don't understand, you must not leave it. And if you do have frames in your house of Quran, Ayatul Kursi, whatever, you must know that is only decoration. That is only decoration, and that will maybe to remind you when you see it, you will think of Allah, you will think of reading Ayatul Kursi or making dua before going to toilet or whatever, but that is not protection. So Rasulullah said, if you read Ayatul Kursi before sleeping, not when shaitan can approach you, an angel will be appointed by Allah Ta'ala to protect you. But if you put a frame of Ayatul Kursi over your bed, do you think that will protect you? That will not protect you. You have to read it every time. And even if you have something that only has Quran, even if you write it yourself, it is only Quran, it does not protect you. Just think that you have hasanat for reading Quran. Do you have hasanat for carrying Quran? Do you have hasanat that you go to work, you go to take a Quran in your pocket and you have your wuzu and keeping that all day? Do you have any hasanat for that? There is not hasanat for that. There is not hasanat for going around having a Quran with you. So if there is no hasanat, there is no barakat. There is no blessing. That will not help you in your life. The blessings come through good deeds. The good deeds bless your life. Because Allah Ta'ala says, مَنْ عَمِلَ صَالِحًا مِنْ ذَكَرٍ أَوْ أُنْثَىٰ وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ حَيَاةً طَيِّبَةً. Whoever does good, being believer, male or female, we will give him a good life. So the more you do good actions, the more you have Iman, the more your life will become good. It is the good actions that bless your life. And something that has no hasanat, that has not been taught by Islam, will not give blessing into your life. May Allah Ta'ala accept us and guide us. I have to announce to you that Sheikh Abderraouf has passed away. May Allah Ta'ala give him mercy. يعني نخبركم أن الشيخ عبد السلام من المغرب توفي رحمه الله. May Allah Ta'ala give him mercy, accept him and raise him in Salihin and forgive his sins and be his Khalifa, his successor in his family. اللهم ربنا لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم اغفر لنا ما قدمنا وما أخرنا وما أعلنا وما أسررنا وما أنت أعلم به منا. اللهم ارحمنا بترك المعاصي أبدا ما أبقيتنا. اللهم فقهنا في ديننا وبصرنا بعيوبنا وأشغلنا بعيوبنا عن عيوب غيرنا. اللهم حسن أخلاقنا وارزقنا محبة المسلمين يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أخرج من قلوبنا حب من سواك وخشية من سواك وتعظيم من سواك. اللهم أخرج من حياتنا ما يبعدنا عنك. اللهم أخرج من حياتنا قلوبنا ما يمنعنا من معرفتك وعبادتك حقا يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اصلح أحوال المسلمين، اللهم ردنا إلى الدين وإلى سنة حبيبك صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم ألف بين قلوب المسلمين، اللهم تقبلنا واستعملنا لنصرة دينك وخدمة عبادك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم افتح أبواب الهداية للكفار والمشركين، اللهم اجعل وجودنا في هذا البلد رحمة لهم وهداية لهم يا أرحم الراحمين. واغفر لنا ما قصرنا في دعوتهم وفي بيان الحق والإسلام لهم يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم ارحم أمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم رحمة عامة، وفرج عن المكروبين من المسلمين، وفرج عن إخواننا في سوريا وفي بورما وفي كل مكان يا أرحم الراحمين. وصل اللهم وبارك وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. واذكروا الله يذكركم وأقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله